You cannot know where you're going if you don't know where you're at.
Coming up on the Melanin Money Show.
The first thing you got to do is you got to audit.
Even if you're doing everything fine, if you still find a way to make more money, that's all investing money. Like if you don't need the money,
right,
get it out.
Focus on investing first, right? Put your money up for investing and then you figure out your lifestyle. Is to start now, be consistent, and automate your investments. Where the heck is the money going? Is this the first? This is the first episode of 2024. Is that right?
Yes, right, man. And we acting like this is our first episode ever, not even realizing when we got started recording. But you know,
it's all good. It's all good. We at this point we family, right? We 100 and 30 something plus episodes in at this point. We should know.
Yeah.
I need to like.
Yeah, I think at this point, we definitely 100, 120, 130 plus. At this point, man, I ain't gonna say we're gonna drop the full professionalism, but I think that we just need to I want to treat this more of like the fly on the wall conversation. Like them get to know who we are. Like that, I think the best thing we're gonna do this year is like before we start each episode, do like 5 to 10 minutes of just like what we normally talk about, and then go into the episode to give us some more insight to who we are, man.
Big fact. So with that being said, let's get into it, man. The last time we talked to y'all, well, we had our solo episode and we had a couple of dope guests. Shout out to Monray, shout out to Gamal. And we were going into those are fire. Got a lot of great feedback on those. Going into the award show. So we literally recorded all those episodes going into the award show. So this is our first time talking to y'all post award show. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, right?
Under a mother rock.
Right, you've had to see, the flood that is the Melanin Money Awards, right? It's one thing to talk about it. You know, we talked about it, incrementally all year long, 2023. But it's another thing to see it. So y'all, man, we are just honored and grateful to be able to host such an incredible experience. We are thankful for everybody who made it out. If you made it out, hey, listen, you had a good time. If you didn't make it out, we'll see you this year, right? Don't miss it. We try to tell y'all.
You played yourself award goes too.
Yeah, you played yourself, right? But it's all good because we're gonna be doing this, every year for the foreseeable future. So it was a good time, man. So I mean, Cardi, anything you want to share just about like the overall experience and just like, what are your thoughts about the award show?
It was the best thing we've ever done to this point.
Right.
And you've been saying that for a while. I'm like, dude, have you solved every, like you said, bros, the best thing we ever done. I'm like, have you solved other things that we've been doing? And then it happens. I'm like, all right, well, I got to tell him he's right again. So there's that. Yeah.
And the good news is this year is going to be even better. I already know it's going to look like, it's going to be a vibe. So, but yeah, I mean, I think just being able to have an world-class experience like that where, we get to celebrate Black wealth and just wealth for people of color as a whole at the highest level, and we're tracking it. And I think that's what really blew people away is like, yo, like y'all got real data. Like y'all not just like most people just say like, oh, I'm for the culture. We helping build generational wealth. Like, oh no, y'all really doing it. Like has several of our peers come up to us that we're not trying to reinvent this. We'll submit our numbers next year. We won't play around. So shout out to y'all for the humility in that regard. But man, we are better together. Award show is a complete vibe, and we are excited for 2024 and everything else we have in store for the year as well.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, man, because I know we're gonna talk about 2024, and I spent the last days of 2023 reflecting on what 2024 was as a year in total. And I think that's something that everybody should do because so many things happened in these 12 months, and we just only remember highlights from each month, but we take a few hours to sit down and really reflect on it, man. It's just crazy how much you can get done in a year, and it's unimaginable what you can get done in a decade, man. So just
unimaginable.
Yeah, unimaginable. So just stay with the grind, man. If 2023 didn't go well for you, it's okay. You got another stab at 2024 to become the person and achieve the goals that you want to achieve. So man, let's get it started on the right foot.
Big facts, big facts. Let's talk about some current events, some stuff that's been in the news lately. So I know you saw what happened with Taraji. She kind of got emotional on stage. I think one of the interviews for The Color Purple, which real quick, I might lose my black card here. I've never seen the first Color Purple. Have you ever seen the first Color Purple?
I've never seen any of the Color Purples or read the book at
Yeah, I
all.
haven't. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Haven't read the book. Apparently, that's like a no go. But I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna see
I
this movie. But I heard it was good. You plan to see
Yeah.
it?
I mean, like I don't plan to see I never plan to see anything that's gonna make me sad. Like I don't
True.
do sad movies, I don't do scary movies. Why would I want to put myself in a position to be why would I pay money to be scared or pay money to cry in public? Like why would I do that? So I don't plan to see it.
Oh, you don't do scary movies?
I don't
Wow, you
do
learn
scary
something
movies
new every day.
at all. Like I'll do a sad, I don't do it at all.
Wow, wow. Well, you and Match
Like
have
I'll
something
walk
in
out
common.
of the movie theater. Yeah, literally.
You and Match have something in common. I don't mind a scary movie. But she does not do scary movies either.
So you
Oh,
would just
okay,
kick your feet up on the couch, paranormal activity and some popcorn, you good.
I'm straight. Yeah, I'm Gucci.
Just
Like no question
Saw
asked.
5 at night in the house by yourself. Pop on Saw 5, get a glass of wine, you chilling.
Yep.
Something
My
is seriously
sparkle,
wrong
whatever
with
the
you.
case may be. Yeah,
Something is
bro.
seriously
Listen, it's
wrong
just a
with you. Okay.
movie. It's just a
All right.
movie. That opens up a lot of questions. Do you ride roller coasters?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's adrenaline.
You're
Like
good
it's
with
like
thrill. So you
thrill and scary movies is two different things. Because like if you sit there and watch what was that? What's the scariest movie I ever saw? The Conjuring, and then you try to
uh
go to sleep after that, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. Like, that's just me. Call me scared, whatever. I'll down this hill, bro.
Okay,
Anyway,
that there you have it. Carter doesn't do scary
anyway,
movies and sad movies.
I am
Okay,
adamant about it. I'm adamant about it. Anyway, so Taraji,
fair enough.
The Color Purple. I heard it's a great movie. You're gonna be in tears. Biggest opening on Christmas Day since 2009. Second biggest
Wow,
opening in Christmas history, right? And
that's major.
she almost backed out of the deal because in a nutshell, they were playing with her money. They were undermining her value. In the movie, she's the lead character. How you gonna undermine the lead character's value in a movie this
Crazy.
big? Anyway, she said the studio was basically undermining her. She almost walked away, but because of what the movie was going to do for the culture, she sucked it up
Yeah.
and she did the movie. Now,
Mm.
her emotional episode on that podcast was due to this is not the first time somebody's undermining her value, right? And it's crazy to
Mhm.
think that of all people, you're gonna undermine value in like black acting space, especially a female like Taraji and
Right.
Viola Davis,
Pay her
like
dues.
those two
Right.
people, I think been like they paid their dues. It's like they come to the
Mhm.
table with what they're asking price, but it's crazy because that's obviously not the case, which is wild.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it just is it's a testament of like even at the it seems right even at the highest level, whether it's athletes, whether it's entertainers, whatever, like at the end of the day you're just highly compensated employees at the end of the day, right? Like you're still subject to somebody else writing the check and determining what your worth is, right? For some people it works out fairly well, the Will Smiths of the world, and they've been able to get 20 million a movie and stuff like that. But for a lot of people, right, it doesn't work out well, which is why they make a lot more money from endorsements and other ways, because like when it comes to the actual check for the thing that they actually are world class at, they don't typically always get their worth. I think we have seen a dynamic shift in all industries as it relates to compensation and ownership and leverage, that's dramatically different than it was probably 20 years ago. But as we can see, it's still happening pretty consistently to some of the greatest actors and entertainers we've ever seen. So I think it's
And
very interesting.
and I think that's why a lot of actors are starting their own production companies. I think that's why Dwayne
Mhm.
Johnson has seven
Yeah.
bucks production company, because that way they can get a piece of just the movie's earnings. Like, I don't compensate me at all. I'm gonna get 15% of what this movie grosses, and we are
Right.
good, right? Put their money where their mouth is.
Yeah.
So and somebody, and I went through the comments before the episode, and some people, because she mentioned like um if she only gets paid $10 million, and somebody was like, how are you going to say only $10 million for a movie? Well, then
Mhm.
she proceeded to do the breakdown, and this was really
Mhm.
dope for me because I thought everybody knew this, but apparently they didn't
Yeah.
because
Mm.
I used to be a business manager. As you know, I used to be a business manager for a lot of creators. Now my clients were actors and movie writers, not at the biggest stages, but they would definitely get their movies and roles and scripts picked up by Netflix, right? So,
Mm.
like Taraji's example, you get a $10 million check.
Yeah.
40% of that's going to IRS off the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Yeah.
live in California, 50%, because now you dealing with the state taxes. So 50 off
Which a
cuff
lot of them
gone,
do because they're in
which
Hollywood.
because
Yeah.
they're in Hollywood. So 50% off the cuff gone, right? Then your agent or manager gets anywhere from 10 to 20% depending on how you negotiate, right? So let's just say an average, you get 50% to your manager/agent.
Mhm.
The lawyer who negotiated the fees, who negotiated the script, is probably going to get anywhere from 5 to 10%. So now you're at 25% with agent and lawyer combined. Then guess what? Me, your faithful business manager, we get 5%. That's industry standard. 5% off the cuff. We have to manage the money, do the books, we do the accounting, do the taxes, pay your bills. So 5% off that. So now you got 30% gone by your team, 50% go by the IRS. You got 20% left, and you haven't even paid anybody who works directly for you, meaning your assistant, your building, your rent, all those people. So you got like 10
Mm-hmm.
or 15% left. So 10 million turns into to 1.5 million quick. And you haven't even bought yourself nothing.
Sheesh. Sheesh.
You haven't even bought yourself nothing for the 6 months you was on set. You know what I'm
Now let
saying?
me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Mr. Tax Guru. So my question is, you know how a lot of celebrities and entertainers be getting in tax trouble. Are they legitimately having to like are they getting that money like an employee and legitimately having to pay that 40%? Are they getting all the money and having to know that they need to allocate a large percentage away for taxes? Like how does that work on their end?
Phenomenal question. At the beginning, they all take the money. At the beginning.
Okay.
And you even hear
Gotcha.
Kevin Hart talk about this. At the
Yeah,
beginning,
yeah.
they all take the money. And then they come
Mhm.
next year, they have hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes that they don't have the money to pay for. So then they end up having to do a
Mm.
project for free. Then their next project, that's $500,000, they give half of that to
Yeah.
the IRS off the cuff. Then they take the other half and pay the old tax bill. And then they say, all right, don't show me any money. That's not mine. So
That ain't
Taraji's
mine.
in that,
Yeah.
yeah, Taraji's in that place in her career. Don't show me any money. That's not mine.
Got you.
So
Got
yeah.
you. Okay. Interesting. Well, yeah. So
And,
yeah,
and yeah.
all that being said, guys, it's like whether you are an employee or whether you're an actor or entertainer, you have got to put yourself in a position where you have some level of leverage or control over your destiny, right? LeBron James, granted, now he's an extreme example, and he does get paid his worth, right, relatively speaking, from playing ball, but very early on, right, securing the right contracts, putting business infrastructure in place. He has a production company, has a lot of different things going on because you have to have something that you can control, right? At the end of the day, even though LeBron is super great, if he got too political on something, or if he ruffled too many feathers, there's a chance that his bag could get messed up too, right?
Mhm.
So whatever it is, like, and that's just one of the ways that your money could get messed up. Just put yourself in a position to where you have control, no matter how big you think you are, how much money you make. You just at the end of the day are a highly compensated employee if you're in that scenario, right? Which is why we talk about entrepreneurship all the time.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Facts.
So
And with that being said, somebody who is in more control of his money, Mr. Gervonta Davis, boxing extraordinaire. I forgot how much he made on his last fight.
boxing
Something
checks be
outrageous.
crazy.
Them boxing's like you think about it for a second, man. Not to take anything away from boxing. Like I think that's
Right.
if you're a boxer, you deserve every dollar that you're paid. But
Right.
you have one fight every 3 to 4 months, sometimes 6 months, and that
And it's
fight,
about 45 minutes if it goes all
if
15
it goes
rounds.
all the way, so
Right.
it's 20 minutes on average, 25 minutes on average. Yeah, you have to train for it, but every athlete has to train for everything they do on the big stage. Them checks
Right.
are outlandish compared to any other sport. It's ridiculous. Outside of soccer,
Yeah.
those checks, one
Yeah.
fight, 25, $30 million. It's crazy.
Crazy.
Crazy. Crazy.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, actually, I'll go get knocked down for half of that.
To go do a couple rounds. Go do a couple rounds.
You know what I'm saying?
If people outside get knocked out for free every day, bro. Jeez.
Every day for free. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be messed up. But anyways, so he bought a whole block, didn't he?
Yeah, man. He went back to his old block in Philly. It didn't just buy the house he grew up in. Because that's something everybody, that's something I want to do. Like go back, oh, this is how I grew up in, let me buy it. Like he bought the block. I'm like, all right, bro. It's different. There's different strokes for different folks, bro. Levels to this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think Mike Epps just did something similar too. Did you see that? Mike Epps, he just went back and renovated. Not only bought, but went back and renovated, gentrified every house on his block.
And I saw that. I'm like, I don't know where that money ain't in his pockets, but man, like Friday, the check's still coming, bro. Like I don't. Bro, he got like an active. He got stand up. I mean, he got like a few specials on Netflix. He been in a lot of movies, bro. Like we're just so used to people messing up. We're so used to A-list celebrities messing up their money that they were looking like a B-list celebrity still doing okay. And buy a block.
Yeah. So kudos to him. Shout out to Mike Epps. Shout out to Gervonta Davis. Love to see the crossover into the financial literacy lane of, doing something with the money, making the money work for you, man, because that's so huge, right? Pause. And where you got hey, listen. It's a new year, but it's a new year, but it's the same me. You know what I'm saying? But we could not start off the. Go ahead. We about to say?
No, I was about to say the same thing you was about to say. Go ahead.
Okay. We can't start off the new year, right, without talking about how to level up with your finances, right, in 2024, right? Now, I'm not one of those guys who see people in the gym in January and turn their nose up. I'm like, oh, you're not going to be here in 3 months. If you are trying and making an attempt at bettering yourself in the crazy world that we got going on, I tip my hat to you. I hope you stay the course. I hope that you stay consistent and do whatever you got to do to make it work. I'm not the guy that's going to shame you. So we want to just spend some time sharing what we think, sharing just some of the ways that we think can help you level up your money, level up your financial goals in 2024.
1000%, man. And like you said, like just because new year, new money is cliche and everybody like wants to get their finances together in January, that don't mean go against the grain, bro. Like if your finances not use January 1st as the time to be like, all right, let's reset this thing and let's get on the absolute right track. And like, I don't care what anybody say. There are things I need to get better at. So I know if there's things financially I need to get better at every single year, then there's things that everybody needs to get better at. So we would like to just give you all some game. So we might have talked about some of these things before, but that don't mean it don't work. Just because you heard it last year, did you do it? Is the question.
Did you do it? Some of y'all might just recently be getting tapped in with the Melanin Money Show. Might haven't listened to the OG episodes, which is crazy, by the way. Like go back and listen. But so we want to make sure that we, give y'all some sauce. All right, so let's get into it. You cannot know where you're going if you don't know where you're at. It is what it is, right? So the first thing you got to do is you got to audit, right? You have to do an audit of your expenses. Where the heck is the money going? Have you ever logged into your online banking on a Tuesday in particular, right?
Tuesdays, and you wonder Tuesdays be the worst,
like,
man.
You getting ate up. Like what happened? You know what I'm saying? You dodging bullets, you dodging punches because impending transactions have hit, right? And you're shocked. It's almost like back in college days, for those of y'all who went to college and the grades came out and like you feel like you did okay, but like you was a little nervous to look. You didn't really want to see if you know what the grades were. That's how some of y'all be logging into your online banking because y'all have no pulse on where your money is at, right? I have every notification possible when it comes to my personal spending. So because I want to make sure I know what's going on. Shout out to DJ Khaled. He said he don't have a business manager. He said he swipes his card for everything. He said he's the only one that spends the money. Nobody manages his money. What did he say? He said, what did he say? He said, even the bank, they have to get a verbal confirmation from me. He said, if I say the wire is good through email, now you got to call me. Like, make sure. He said, even then, don't believe me. He said, nah, bro. Like he said, I got to make sure I know where my money's going. But first and foremost, you got to do an audit, right? So what does that look like? Now, We are at the beginning of the year. So here's going to be a healthy but painful exercise. You're going to log into your online banking, first and foremost, and you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom of it for the past 12 months. There's going to be 2 columns that you get to look at. All money in, all money out, right? And I want you to look at those columns, right? And ask yourself, does that surprise you? Number one, like, dang, okay, I didn't realize I had that much money flowing to the account. But more importantly, I didn't realize I had that much money flowing out of the account. Where did it go? Do I feel like I know where it went? Do I feel like I still have some of it, right? Like that's going to be an eye-opening exercise. And now is probably a better time than any to do it. It's going to be painful. I'm letting you know right now, it's going to be painful for most of you, right? But it's going to be very eye-opening to let you know, like, yo, I got to get a grip on this, right? Then once you look at the macro number, the big number, then you got to start digging into it. Okay, like what makes up this number? Where did my money go? Was it food? Was it gas? Was it shopping? Was it getting my hair done? Like, what was it? Where did the money go? Right? At least that's what I would do. That's step 2. Then from there, if there's anything that should be eliminated in a subscription that you shouldn't have had. Now there are better ways to do this, but I'm making you do it manually because y'all need to feel this. You know what I'm saying? Then you go through and see, is there any expenses that can be eliminated? Right? That's the first thing. I should have been canceled this. Let me highlight that. Right? I can't believe I'm still paying for that. Like, go through and figure out all the expenses that can be eliminated. That's exercise number 1. Then go in relative to what you think it should be and ask yourself, are there any expenses that can be reduced? Right? So for example, you look at your eating out budget, it's like, I'm gonna eat out, but I shouldn't be spending $800 a month. Right? So then you can then you highlight maybe that yellow. So highlight everything that you want to eliminate, red, highlight everything that you want to reduce, yellow, because then ultimately then you can go back and set a realistic budget that you can start tracking. So that is my 90-second expense audit blueprint for anybody. You don't got no special software. All you got to do is log into your online banking, print your bank statements out, and get to work.
Yeah, man. I think one of the best things, it's something so small, and I'm like looking at it right now. One of the best things that I did for me is turn on my alerts for every credit card that I have. To text me whenever I spend money, right? So like every time my card is swiped, I get a text, and like what it does, and like I realized a lot of stuff I didn't know what it was. So I would like hit my assistant like, yo, what is this $2,000? What is this? Oh, what is this 500? And I'm like, okay, cancel that, man, cancel that. And like that probably helped me find $2,000 to $3,000 a month, man, for at least from my business standpoint, it's stuff that we're paying for that we used to need, but that we don't really need anymore. So I think that everybody needs to do that. I know it's scary, but like, yo, it allows you to fix things in real time, because you might be at the bar or something, and then there might be a typo at the bar. You're like, I didn't spend $300. You go back and you like, oh, that's a typo. We'll refund you. So like, it's helped me in real time fix things that weren't supposed to be charged to my account.
Yeah, because if you don't do it on a regular basis, then it's really hard to sometimes remember what it was, right? So like, I encourage you, like after you do this initial audit, like we call them money dates in the Melanin Millionaires Club, right? Like once a week, whether it's like end of the week, top of the week, sit down and do what we just told you to do, but do it weekly, right? So that way you can connect the dots on what those expenses are. Matter of fact, remember we was in Miami, I told you we went out to eat, and then I got this crazy room service charge. Like, there's no way that's possible because I ate at the restaurant that's not even connected to the hotel, like in terms of like room service. So I was like, somebody else spent that money. It wasn't me. So I had to get that removed. It was like $200 that it wasn't me. But if I hadn't paid attention to that, right, that might have slipped through the cracks. But how many times can that happen to where you now have spent an extra $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 unbeknownst to you just because you don't have awareness? So after you audit, it now creates a level of awareness for you to be able to make better spending decisions.
1,000%, man. So that's the first thing you all need to do. And I know it's going to be painful, but you got to do it, at least if you want to like get better control of your money. The second thing I recommend everybody do, and this is like just a way to eliminate human error. And this is something that I need to get better at. I spent the month of December last month fixing this problem because it wasn't up to the T that I wanted it to be. And and what I mean is automating your investing. Like the whole pay yourself first mantra, y'all hear it all the time. Y'all read it in books, y'all hear it on different podcasts. What does paying yourself truly mean? That means that if rent comes out on the first, and the phone bill comes out on the third, and your car note comes out on the fifth, all those payments, the car company is not gonna call you every month, like, hey man, you got that 350 for the car, bro? Like, not like no, they
Right.
gonna take that money out your account every single month. So that stuff is automated. All your bills, most of your major bills are automated. So your major expense, the biggest bill you should have is, well, the goal should be the biggest bill for you to have is the bill that's paying yourself for investing. My biggest bill every single month is the money that comes out of my account to my investment account. And that needs to be automated. So now I'm automating all of my investments so that by the third or the fourth, like if I ain't got no money to spend the rest of the month, I ain't got no money to spend the rest of the month. I'm not investing at the end of the month. So
Right.
what I did, I used the month of December to go through all my accounts and make sure my auto pulls zone for my investments. Then I increased all of my automatic payments for my investments because my goal is to invest more this year than I did last year. And I think that's something that everybody can benefit from by just
Mhm.
increasing by automating their investments.
Yeah, 100%. I came up with this quote for this very reason probably 8 years ago. Automation trumps determination. I know all of you guys have the desire to invest more, or you're determined to do the right thing, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Unfortunately, I know that sounds really dramatic, but like it's true, right? Like everybody has good intentions, but like you have to automate, right, to eliminate failure as an option, right? So like put these guardrails in place so that you don't have to look up 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now. Man, I really said I wanted to invest more this year, but I had a reminder on my calendar to move money over, and then something happened, and I always forgot, and it didn't happen, right? Automation trumps determination. So if you set it up, you don't have to worry about it. Now, make sure you have it set up to where the money's actually going to be invested, because you don't just want to move the money from your bank account to your investment account, right? The money's not invested, but make sure that you automate those investments, and you will be much better off come 2025.
Yeah, and like there are so many companies that allow you to do this. Acorn is one of my favorite. I just went to Acorn. I went to my Acorns account and I found 5 figures that I didn't know existed. Because I hadn't checked the account in a year because it's been taking money out of my account every single month. One thing I did realize that it could have been more, but because Acorns has that feature where if you spend $1.05, they'll take the 95 cents and put it away. All of my accounts
Right.
leakage had fell off. So for like the last 8 months of the year, there was no roundups from investing. Only the money I was putting there every single month. So like something as small as that I could have had extra two, three, $4,000 invested if I would have had the wherewithal to pay attention to realize like, yo, your automation for your investments aren't going the way you thought they were. So something easy, y'all.
Big
Automating your
facts.
investments, making sure that you treat it like a bill, pay yourself first, have it come out before any other bills. Because when you got to pay rent, and this is real. I mean, people might not agree with me, but like if you pay yourself first $1,000 and you realize your car note is 350 and you only got $200, I promise you, as a human being, you'll be surprised at how quickly you find a way to make $150 to not have to get that car back.
Ooh, that's big
Real
facts.
talk. Yeah, like
Big
you
facts.
gonna
Right.
become some type of side hustle extraordinaire to keep that Lexus you got in the driveway, right? But if it
Yeah.
was something like just paying you, if it was just yourself, you'd be like, oh, I'll pay myself $800 this month instead of 1,000. Like, nah, man, treat it like a bill. Put your back against the wall to make sure that you're able to cover both.
Go broke investing. Right. Like focus on investing first, right? Put your money up for investing, and then you figure out your lifestyle, right? But do not put investing on the back burner, because your future self, right, is going to thank you for that commitment, because time is the only thing that you can't get back, right? Like, so while you have time, putting that money away as much as you can. So then when you look up 3, 4, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, it's like, man, I'm so glad that I stayed the course. Like I'm telling you, it changed my life forever. I think it was probably 2 years into my financial advisory career. Gentleman walked into my office. He's probably 44 years old, had his wife with him, had his young kids with him. He basically was telling me that he was like gonna have to start over. Basically, I had a 401k, I cashed it out. Tried to start this business, didn't work. And based upon my knowledge at that point, which was very traditional, it was like, there was no math equation where that he was going to be able to successfully retire, right? Like he made about 50, 60 grand a year, whatever it was. So unless he like dramatically changed his career trajectory and invested almost everything he had, I didn't see a world where he was going to be able to retire, right? And me having to tell him that in front of his wife, and like the way she kind of like looked at him and has kids in the office, like it changed everything about me in terms of like how I approach this business. And so I'm telling y'all guys, like you don't want to regret like not making these small incremental decisions now while you can, because I'm not saying that you can't change your life or become an entrepreneur and figure it out and understand how to play catch up, but you don't want to put yourself in that position if you don't have to, right? And one of the easiest ways to not have to be in that position is to start now, be consistent, and automate your investments.
That part. And here's the third thing, man. And like, y'all just got, some of y'all don't want to hear this, but y'all got to hear it. Some of y'all don't got a saving problem. Some of y'all don't got an investing problem. Some of y'all don't got a budgeting problem. Some of y'all just got a make more money problem. Like, that's just what it is. Like, you are breaking your neck to like not buy Starbucks, not eat out, peanut butter and jelly, ramen noodles, and that math still ain't math, right? So the reality for you is you don't have a saving investing problem. You just have a make more money problem. And to fix that, you just have to find ways to generate more income. With, believe it or not, GA, you can speak on this. I think finding a way to make more money is dramatically easier than going through and trying to cut every single expense.
Yeah, it's not only is it dramatically easier than trying to cut every expense, right? Like it's never been easier to make money online, right? Because here's the thing, cutting expenses is a finite exercise. The lowest you can go is zero, right? Like, and then you just got to ask yourself, what kind of lifestyle am I going to have if I cut every single expense? But making more money is an infinite exercise. There's quite literally no cap, as the young kids say, right? On your potential to be able to make as much money as you want to make, right? And just because I love y'all, I'm gonna give you a couple, right? So like, listen, we're in a digital age, right? Me and Carter, as you can see, we post clips of this podcast on our social platform, multiple times a week. There's other up and coming podcasters who are, trying to get their podcasts out there. And one of the easiest things you can do, I've shared this one before, I'll share it again, is you can actively go out and search people who have platforms, who create content, but the content maybe isn't content, right? Maybe it's not up to par. Maybe it's not that they're not that consistent with it, but they have good quality content, but they just don't have, in terms of like what they're saying, but they don't have enough of it, or it's not aesthetically pleasing, right? You go to Fiverr, right? Don't ask them for anything, right? You go find where their content lives. You go to Fiverr, you get 3 clips made, right, on their behalf, and then you come back to them and you say, hey, love what you're doing. I noticed that you have long form content, but you don't seem to post as much of it on social. Not sure if that was by choice or if you just don't have somebody on your team who can handle it for you. Here's 3 clips. Let me know what you think. If you like it, we can talk about what it would look like for me to do about 20 of these for you a month. How does that sound? What? So it might cost you, I don't know, $15. And matter of fact, as I said out loud, there's another way that probably will cost you even less, which you taught me the other week, Carter.
Yeah, so that I was on about all that. Yeah,
I know. That's why I didn't give that one.
I know where he going, but like, slow down, bro.
Yeah. Come on, listen. I'm good at this. I'm new to this. Not true. I'm true to this. Not new to this. But yeah, it might cost you $15. But again, like I'm telling y'all, like you get 3-4 of those, right? Like now you making an extra, $3,000 a month. And you're not doing none of the work, right? You're not doing none of the work. All you got to do is be the middleman, right? There's millions in the middle if you're willing to go get them. So that's just one of many ways, but take the concept. Concepts govern specifics. I'm not going to go through a million side hustles on this podcast, but the concept is this. There's always buyers, there's always brokers, and there's always builders, right? Somebody can make something, someone wants something, and someone or something can connect both people. I'm saying for you, if you don't have a unique skill set on making something, and obviously you're not the person who wants to spend the money because you're trying to make some, figure out how you can connect those 2 people and you can make as much money as you want to make. Period.
Yeah. So like just find ways to make more money, man. Like that really will solve a lot of your problems. Cause like, think about this, even if you're doing everything perfectly and your financial life is good, and you're able to save, let's call it $1,000 a month. That means you're selling
Mhm.
12, you're saving slash investing $12,000 a year. Perfect. Life is good. You're happy. You're eating out. You're enjoying life. If you decided to find a side hustle that you made an extra $1,000 a month, guess what? That's an extra $1,000 that you know you don't need. So now you can just take the extra thousand and just automate that to your investment account. Now you went from $1,000 a month to $2,000 a month. Now you're investing $24,000 a year. That is gonna more than 2x your speed on getting financial freedom, because the way money works, you'll see exponential growth due to compound interest. So even if you're doing everything fine, if you still find a way to make more money, that's all investing money. Like there are ways that me and GA make money, and because we don't need it, we don't even see it. Like that, whatever money is there,
Right.
okay, cool. That extra $2,000 a month that we made from doing that thing one time, that money is just automatically going to another account to be reinvested, right? Like buying a real
Mhm.
estate property, the property's cash flowing $1,000. I don't need that money. So that cash flow of
Right.
$1,000 to go straight to an investment account where I might make 20%. Now I'm making from $1,000 a month to $1,200 a month. It just depends like how good the rate is. But if you don't need the money,
Right.
get it out. Like go give your every dollar a job so that your money is not lazy in 2024, man.
Let's just see how big of a difference it is. I'm almost interested, right? So if you invested $24,000 a year, right, for 20 years at a 10% rate of return, that's going to be $1.5 million, right? So yeah, $1.5 million, right?
After how many years?
Now 20. Now let's
Okay.
see what this look. Let's see what it looks like if you just did the 12,000. 756, right? So you're missing out on $756,000 by not getting that side hustle, right? 756,000. Now you only invested an extra 20. What is it? Let me see. It was 1,000
Extra
times
$1,000 a
12
month times
times
12
20.
times
So was that
20.
24? 24? Extra 24,000, something like that.
Extra,
So
extra, extra,
12,000
extra 240,000.
times 200. Yeah, 240,000. My bad.
Yeah.
Extra 240. So 200. You only invested 240, but it's making you an extra
Seven.
$756,000.
And I don't know about y'all.
Right?
Maybe that's not a lot of money for y'all, but I could use the extra 750K. You know what I'm saying? So like no, that's not money that any of us can just walk over because we don't feel like finding an extra way to make an extra $1,000 a month. You owe it to your
Yeah.
future self to invest as much as you can today, so that one day you don't have to work anymore. Period.
That's the whole game, y'all. Like, did y'all not know that's the whole game of investing? It's not, oh, that's what the smart people said you're supposed to do with your money because the bank's not earning any interest. The whole purpose of investing is that right now you produce the income, right? You got stuff that you got to buy, and you have to go work to create the money to buy the stuff. If you invest enough, your investments can buy the stuff, which means what can you subtract from the equation? Any guesses? Working, right? That's the whole game. And I know it sounds super simple, but I really don't think that people grasp that. I think people like, oh, my job offers this 401k. I'm supposed to put money away for retirement. Like that's the whole game. Like the investments produce the cash flow, so you don't have to. And when you think about it that way, it's like, why would I keep robbing myself from the potential of not having to work? I like to call it buying back your time, right? Every time you invest money, you're buying back hours of your life that you no longer have to spend working. If that doesn't motivate you to invest, I don't know what is. I don't know what will, honestly.
I don't know. I don't know what we'll either, but I think showing people the number, like, so we have financial background. Like, once I understood how much an extra $1,000 a month, an extra $1,000 a month, extra $500 a month, once I knew how much that would change over 10, 15, 20, 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
all I gotta do is see that number one time. And if you want to, go
Right.
ahead and print that number out, put it on your screensaver,
Mm-hmm.
on your desk or whatever, so you know, like, if I can get this extra $1,000 a month, I have an extra $756,000 20 years from now. Is it worth
Right.
it? And then
Is it
and then
worth
that's
it?
your motivation. Yeah,
And
that's your
it's not
motivation.
going to feel that heavy to you because you're just doing it monthly, right? Like you just that. extra $1,000, right? You just doing what you're doing consistently. It's happening automated. And the next thing you know, you look up and it's like, whoa, you ever like had a bank account that you forgot about low key? And like, but you had automatic transfers going to, and you randomly logged in and checked.
Literally
like,
the Acorns account that I was just telling you about. I was like, oh, cool.
Right. That's like the best feeling ever. It's like hiding money from yourself, right? So it's like automated, set it up, and I'm telling you, it will change your life. It will change your life.
That part.
So I mean, I think those are some good things, right, to consider. I mean, obviously there's always could be more, but like those are some good tactical, practical things that you can do to start off 2024 and really just crush it this year.
1,000%. So guys, pick one, pick two, pick three, do all four, right?
Right.
And we promise you this when we bring this episode back in 2025, you will be in a better financial position than you were this year. And that's the goal. We want you to leave better than you came in.
That's it. So what we want y'all to do is make sure that y'all like this episode, subscribe to the channel on YouTube if you haven't. Make sure that you give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well. We got some exciting updates coming to the podcast platform this year that we're really, really excited about. But most importantly, share this with somebody else, right? Because what will make all of this easier is if you have somebody in your corner who's doing the same thing, that y'all can hold each other accountable. Hey, how'd you do this month? Did all your transfers go through? Did you invest your money this month? Did you do your audit? Like, share this with somebody else who you want to lock in with to be accountable with in 2024. If you don't have anybody to lock in with and be accountable with in 2024, maybe you should consider joining the Melanin Millionaires Club, right? It is a #1 platform for people of color who desire to achieve at least their first 1 million in net worth. At the awards show, we announced, the progress of our community so far. This past year, they improved their net worth by over $60 million collectively. Yep, $60 million collectively in 2023. Which will probably triple this year with our efforts of continuing to expand the platform. So we hope that you're in one of the numbers, right? Because listen, we just want to see people win. We want to see people hit their net worth goals, and most importantly, we want to see people have some fun while they do it. And we have a lot of fun inside the Melanin Millionaires Club. So
see you inside, y'all.
That's all we got for y'all today, y'all.
Until next time.
Peace. You already know the vibes.